Have you ever looked at two men who are exactly the same age, yet one seems 20 years older? One still walks with confidence. His posture is upright. His mind is sharp. His grandchildren struggle to keep up with him. The other moves carefully. Every step looks heavy. His energy disappears by lunchtime. His body feels older than the number on his driver's license. The surprising part? Sometimes the difference isn't genetics, it isn't luck, and it isn't expensive medicine. It's a handful of daily habits, repeated quietly over years, that slowly decide whether a man grows older with strength or simply grows old. Most men never notice these habits because they don't create pain overnight. They work silently, like termites inside the foundation of a house. From the outside, everything looks perfectly normal, until one day, the structure begins to collapse. As a urologist, I've spoken with countless men who believed aging was stealing their vitality. But after careful conversations, a different picture often appeared. Many weren't being defeated by age. They were being defeated by habits they had stopped questioning years ago. The encouraging news is this: several of these habits can begin changing today, not next year, not after retirement, today. And the sooner they're recognized, the greater the chance of protecting not only your physical strength, but also your independence, confidence, and quality of life. I'm Dr. Claire Morgan, and today we're talking about a problem millions of men experience, but very few are willing to discuss. By the end of this video, you'll understand what may be happening, why it happens, and the practical steps that can help you protect your health. Stay with me until the end, because the number one habit surprises almost everyone, and many intelligent men unknowingly practice it every single day. Let's begin. Habit number 5, believing alcohol is helping you relax. Many men finish a difficult day the same way. Dinner is over. The television comes on. A glass appears in the hand almost automatically. One drink becomes two. Eventually it becomes part of the evening routine. It helps me unwind. I sleep better. It takes the edge off. Those words are incredibly common. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Alcohol often gives the feeling of relaxation while quietly making recovery much harder. It interferes with the quality of sleep your body depends on to repair muscles, regulate hormones, and restore brain function. A man may spend 8 hours in bed, yet wake up feeling as though he never truly rested. Over months and years, that poor recovery accumulates. Energy gradually fades, motivation declines, exercise becomes more difficult. Extra weight appears around the waist. Blood pressure may slowly rise. Even confidence can begin slipping without the man fully understanding why. For older men, the effects can become even more noticeable because the body processes alcohol differently with age. The same amount that felt harmless 20 years ago may now have a much greater impact on balance, coordination, reaction time, and sleep quality. This doesn't mean every man must avoid alcohol completely. The real danger is allowing it to become the nightly solution for stress, loneliness, boredom, or emotional discomfort, because then it stops being an occasional pleasure and quietly becomes a dependency. Healthier ways of relaxing often provide something alcohol never can: a peaceful evening walk, listening to calming music, talking with someone you trust, reading, gentle stretching, simple breathing exercises. These may sound ordinary, but ordinary habits, repeated consistently, often create extraordinary health over time. The strongest men are not the ones who escape stress every night. They're the ones who learn healthier ways to carry it. Habit number 4, sitting more than your body was designed to imagine buying the world's most reliable truck. Powerful engine, excellent suspension, built to last decades. Now imagine parking it in a garage and never driving it. Eventually the engine begins deteriorating. Rubber parts crack, metal corrodes. Not because the truck was weak, but because it stopped moving. The human body works in remarkably similar ways. Movement isn't simply exercise. Movement is maintenance. Every time you stand up, climb stairs, carry groceries, garden, play with grandchildren, or take a brisk walk, you're sending powerful signals throughout your body. Your muscles stay active. Your circulation improves. Your joints remain lubricated. Your brain receives better blood flow. Your balance stays sharper. But prolonged sitting slowly steals these advantages. Hours pass in a chair, television, computer, car, recliner, day after day, week after week, year after year. Many men assume that one workout somehow cancels 10 hours of sitting. Unfortunately, the body doesn't quite work that way. It responds to what you do most often. This is one reason physically active older adults often appear years younger than their peers. Not because they train like athletes, but because they simply keep moving. They stand more, walk more, reach more, carry more, live more. Movement reminds the body that it is still needed. And a body that still feels needed often keeps serving its owner remarkably well. Habit number 3, living without a reason to wake up. Let me ask you a question. When you wake up in the morning, what's waiting for you? For some men, the answer comes instantly. Their garden, their workshop, their morning walk, their church, their grandchildren, their wife, their volunteer work, their small business, their fishing boat, their dog waiting impatiently by the front door. Life gives them a reason to get out of bed. But for many others, retirement arrived, and with it, silence. The alarm clock disappeared, the schedule disappeared, the phone stopped ringing. Days slowly began blending together. Monday felt like Thursday. Thursday felt like Sunday. Without realizing it, purpose quietly slipped away. This is something few men are prepared for. For decades, many define themselves by what they do. I'm a mechanic. I'm a builder. I'm a police officer. I'm a truck driver. I'm a farmer. Then one day, that title disappears, and an uncomfortable question takes its place. Who am I now? What many people don't realize is that purpose isn't just good for the mind. It influences the body too. Men who remain mentally engaged often continue making healthier choices without forcing themselves. They get dressed, they move, they eat more regularly, they stay connected with friends. They challenge their minds by learning new skills, they laugh more, they keep planning for tomorrow. Purpose creates momentum, and momentum creates life. I've met men in their 80s who still build furniture in their garage. Others mentor younger workers. Some grow vegetables that they proudly give away to neighbors. One gentleman told me every Tuesday he visits a local elementary school just to read books with children. He smiled as he said, "They think I'm helping them, but they're really helping me." That sentence has stayed with me. Purpose doesn't have to change the world. Sometimes it's enough to change your own morning. If you've recently retired, don't retire from living, retire from your old job, not from curiosity, not from learning, not from serving others. The men who age with the greatest joy rarely stop contributing. They simply contribute differently, because every sunrise feels lighter when someone or something is waiting for you. Habit number 2, ignoring small changes because they don't hurt yet. Imagine noticing a tiny crack in the wall of your home. It's barely visible, easy to ignore. It can wait. Weeks become months. Months become years. Then one day, the crack isn't tiny anymore. Now repairs are expensive. The same thing often happens inside the human body. Most serious health problems don't begin with dramatic symptoms. They whisper first. Not shout, a little more fatigue, needing extra naps. Climbing stairs feels harder than it used to. Walking becomes slightly slower. Your belt tightens one notch. You wake up more often during the night. Your balance isn't quite as steady. Your memory occasionally hesitates. Your interest in intimacy quietly fades. Each change seems small, almost insignificant, so it's easy to explain them away. I'm just getting older. It's probably stress. I'll deal with it later. But sometimes these subtle changes are your body's earliest warning signals. Your body is incredibly intelligent. Long before a major illness develops, it often sends gentle messages asking for attention. The tragedy is that many men don't listen until those whispers become emergencies. The strongest men aren't the ones who never develop health problems. They're the ones who notice small changes early enough to respond. They schedule regular checkups. They ask questions. They stay curious about their health instead of afraid of it. Because fear delays action. Curiosity creates action. There's another reason this matters. The earlier many health concerns are recognized, the more options usually exist for managing them effectively. Waiting rarely creates more choices. It usually creates fewer. Think of your body like a trusted friend. If that friend quietly tells you something feels wrong, You don't ignore them, you listen. Your body deserves that same respect. Aging successfully isn't about pretending nothing changes. It's about responding wisely when changes appear. Because paying attention today may protect your independence tomorrow. But there is one habit that quietly feeds every other habit we've talked about today. It weakens motivation. It steals strength. It affects the heart, the brain, the muscles, and even a man's confidence. Ironically, it's also the habit that almost everyone believes they don't have. Let's talk about that next. Habit number 1, waiting until something breaks. Before taking care of yourself, there is one sentence I've heard from older men more times than I can count. I feel fine. At first, those words sound reassuring, but sometimes they're the most dangerous words a man can say. Because many of the conditions that slowly shorten a man's life don't begin with pain. They begin with silence. High blood pressure rarely announces itself. Changes in blood sugar can develop quietly. Loss of muscle strength happens so gradually that it's almost impossible to notice from one week to the next. Even reduced circulation often develops little by little until one day, climbing a flight of stairs suddenly feels much harder than it used to. The body almost never changes overnight. It whispers long before it screams. Think about your car for a moment. Most people don't wait until the engine explodes before changing the oil. They understand that maintenance is far less painful than repair. Yet many men treat their own bodies the opposite way. They postpone routine checkups. They ignore unusual fatigue. They dismiss changes in sleep. They avoid conversations about urinary symptoms because they feel embarrassed. They tell themselves it's probably nothing. Then months become years. By the time they finally seek help, the problem has often become far more difficult to manage. The strongest men I've met weren't fearless. They weren't perfect. They simply understood one powerful truth. Looking after your health isn't a sign of weakness. It's one of the greatest responsibilities a man has. Not just for himself, but for everyone who loves him. Your wife doesn't want to lose you years too soon. Your children still need your advice. Your grandchildren don't care how much money you earned. They care whether grandpa is healthy enough to throw a football, go fishing, take a walk, or simply sit beside them and tell stories. Those moments become priceless. Health protects those moments. Many men spend decades working hard to provide for their families. But eventually, the greatest gift you can provide isn't another paycheck. It's your presence. Your strength, your laughter, your wisdom, your time. Growing older is a privilege denied to many people, so don't spend those years simply surviving. Fight to live them well. Keep walking. Keep learning. Keep laughing. Keep lifting things. Keep challenging your mind. Keep showing up for the people who would be devastated if you weren't here. Because aging isn't about becoming less valuable. In many ways, it's about becoming more valuable than ever. Your experience becomes wisdom. Your patience becomes leadership. Your calm becomes stability for everyone around you. The world doesn't need older men who quietly disappear. It needs older men who continue to lead, who continue to encourage, who continue to inspire the generations behind them. And that journey doesn't begin when everything is perfect. It begins with one small decision. Today, not tomorrow, today. So let's quickly look back at the 5 habits that quietly steal years from many men's lives. Number 5, using alcohol as your daily escape instead of finding healthier ways to recover. Number 4, spending more time sitting than moving. Number 3, living without a reason to get excited about tomorrow. Number 2, ignoring small warning signs because they don't seem serious yet. And finally, number 1, waiting until something breaks before taking your health seriously. None of these habits determine your future by themselves, but together, they shape the direction of your life. The wonderful thing about habits is that they can be changed. You don't need a perfect body. You don't need perfect genetics. You don't need to be 25 again. You only need the willingness to make one better decision and then another and another. Those small decisions become stronger habits. Those habits become better health. And better health gives you something every man wants: more good years with the people he loves. If this video helped you think differently about your health, let me know in the comments. Which of these 5 habits do you think is hurting men the most today? I genuinely like to hear your thoughts. And if you're committed to staying strong, independent, and healthy for as many years as possible, subscribe and join us. Every week, we explore practical, science-informed guidance designed to help men protect their health, confidence, and quality of life as they age. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.